I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes, so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler Sports and this is the Sport Report.
And I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports. Welcome to a special edition of this all crazy sport newscast.
Broadcasting from somewhere in the United States.
Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Sunday, August 11th, 2019.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report. It's time to get you caught up on what's happening in the world of sports. This is Top of the Order.
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
This is Top of the Order.
Our top story doesn't come from one, but rather two cities, Baltimore and Cincinnati. In both cities, two rookies took the MLB by storm. They each hit 3 home runs last night, becoming the first 2 rookies in MLB history to hit 3 home runs on the same night. Aristides Aquino, who plays for the Cincinnati Reds, hit 3 home runs in back-to-back-to-back innings, becoming the first rookie to ever do that. He's got 7 home runs in his first 10 games as a major leaguer. That is tied for second most home runs in a player's first 10 Major League games. Meanwhile, Yordan Alvarez, who plays for the Houston Astros, hit 3 home runs against the Baltimore Orioles last night as well. Both of their teams won in their respective games last night. We'll cover them fully in Around the MLB. But before we get to that, we have our first full-fledged soccer update of the season.
Name on the trophy. And Solskjaer has won it! Manchester United have reached the promised land.
This is your soccer update. Okay, quick side note before we get to soccer. I'd like to apologize for not covering Major League Soccer. Sport Report All Sports correspondent Jack Esper took care of Major League Soccer reporting duties while I was gone, and yet I still somehow decided not to cover MLS. I apologize for that. So with that in mind, let's cover Major League Soccer. 8 games on the Major League Soccer calendar. Portland Timbers 3, Vancouver Whitecaps 1. Sebastian Blanco opened the scoring for Portland in the 28th minute. Thelonious Bear in the 38th minute leveled the score at 1 for Vancouver. Marvin Lurie in the 55th minute 2-1 Portland. And then in the 90th minute, Jeremy Ebobisse added a third goal for Portland, giving the Timbers all 3 points. Chicago Fire 3, Montreal Impact 2. It was 2-2 late in the match, but former Manchester United and former German national team striker Bastian Schweinsteiger scored the late winner for the Fire to give them all 3 points against Montreal. Seattle Sounders 3, New England Revolution 3. New England went out to a 2-1 lead in the 35th minute, and then Seattle leveled the score in the 65th minute, but a minute later, Nicolas Lodeiro scored the third goal for Seattle, and it looked like they were going to take 3 points until an 87th minute penalty for New England leveled the score at 3, and both teams will share the honors in this match. Columbus Crew 2, FC Cincinnati 2. Kayasi Zardes helped Columbus come back with a 45th minute penalty to bring them back to 2-1 after Cincinnati had scored twice in the first 23 minutes. Pedro Santos added the second goal for Columbus, and both teams will take a point out of this match. The last draw on the MLS calendar came between Toronto FC and Orlando City FC, 1-1 between both teams. In the 67th minute, Benji Michel scored to put Orlando City up 1-0. Patrick Mullins then made it 1-1 for Toronto 10 minutes later, and that is how the match would finish. FC Dallas 5, Minnesota United 3. Ethan Finlay opened the scoring for Minnesota in the 11th minute, and then FC Dallas had 2 in 4 minutes. Finlay added his second at the 41st minute, then Reggie Cannon just before halftime for FC Dallas makes it 3-2. Hassani Dotson leveled the score at 3-all, 17 minutes from time, and Brandon Servania made it 4-3 and 5-3 with 2 goals inside the final 5 minutes of regulation for FC Dallas. Real Salt Lake 2, Sporting Kansas City 1. Johnny Russell opened the scoring for Sporting KC in the 31st minute, but Corey Baird had 2 goals, 1 in each half, to win the game for Real Salt Lake. His second and game-winning goal came 20 minutes from time. In the final MLS match of the night, Colorado Rapids 2, San Jose Earthquakes 1. Kellen Acosta scored the first goal for the Colorado Rapids a minute before halftime. San Jose got one back in the 62nd minute, but Diego Rubio scored the winner 17 minutes from time in the 73rd minute for Colorado to give the Rapids all 3 points. They move up from last place in the Western Conference to second to last in the Western Conference. They have 26 points with 24 matches played. That wasn't the only soccer on the calendar. The English Premier League also had some matches, 6 of them to be exact. In the early match, Manchester City 5, West Ham 0. Raheem Sterling had a hat-trick for Manchester City in the 51st, 75th, and 92nd minute for Manchester City. Gabriel Jesus and Sergio Aguero also added 1 apiece for the defending champions. Burnley 3, Southampton 0. Ashley Barnes had 2 goals inside 7 minutes in the second half, and then they also added a third in the 75th minute to give the Clarets all 3 points. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. There were no goals in this game. Both teams share a point at Selhurst Park in London. Brighton of Albion 3, Watford 0. Brighton of Albion are off to a great start under new manager Graham Potter, who came over from Swansea City in the summer. The Seagulls take all 3 points away to Watford. Bournemouth 1, Sheffield United 1. Bournemouth went ahead through Chris Mepham in the 62nd minute, and then Billy Sharp, the Blades legend for Sheffield United, scored in the 88th minute, a late equalizer. It's Sheffield United's first top flight or English Premier League goal since 2007. Granted, they haven't played in the top flight of English football since 2007, but a fun stat nonetheless. Honours even at the Vitality Stadium on the south coast. And in the final match of the Saturday slate, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Aston Villa 1. Aston Villa held in for 72 minutes before Tottenham Hotspur scored 3 goals inside the final 17 minutes, including 2 from Harry Kane and 1 from Tanguy Ndombele, the new signing that came over in the summer transfer window. And Ndombele got the scoring open in the 73rd minute, Kane in the 86th, and in the 91st minute. 3 more matches in the Premier League schedule on opening weekend are coming later today. We'll cover that in tomorrow's episode. For today's episode, let's head to Major League Baseball.
Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop. Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
Now from Major League Baseball.
As we mentioned, the 2 rookies who share the number 44 both helped their teams to victory. We'll start with the Cincinnati Reds, which is Aristides Aquino's team. They win 10-1 over the Chicago Cubs. Sonny Gray improves to 7-6 with a 3.1 ERA on the season for the Reds. Kyle Hendricks falls to 8-9 with a 3.48 ERA for the Cubbies. San Diego Padres 8, Colorado Rockies 5. We have an RBF, Rockies bullpen failure. The Rockies were tied at 5 apiece before Jairo Diaz gave up a home run to Manuel Margot, who also scored Hunter Renfroe, and then Jake McGee gave up a home run to Will Myers, and those 2 homers would prove to be the deciding factor in this ballgame. LA Angels 12, Boston Red Sox 4. Taylor Cole improved to 2-3 for the Halos. Rick Porcello falls to 10-9 for the Red Sox. The Red Sox bullpen kind of fell apart in the 7th inning. Hector Velasquez gave up 2 earned runs, 2 hits. He allowed 3 total runs and had a walk in this game, which also helped the Angels score. And Darwinzon Hernandez also gave up 4 earned runs. Both Velasquez and Hernandez pitched an inning each. Porcello went 5 innings. He's credited with the loss due to the Red Sox trailing when he came out of the game in the top half of the 6th. Mike Trout finally hit a home run at Fenway Park in Boston. It was the final American League ballpark he had yet to hit a home run in. Now he's got one. He's also got one in 24 of the 30 active Major League Baseball parks, and he's only 28. Toronto Blue Jays 5, New York Yankees 4. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. likes to hit the ball very hard. He hit a ball at 118 miles per hour when it came off the bat in this game. He also had the go-ahead 2-run triple that gave Toronto the victory. These 2 runs came in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They were crucial to helping Toronto win this game. Ad Bonavino is now 5-4 for the Yankees. San Francisco Giants 3, Philadelphia Phillies 1. Jeff Samardzija improves to 9-9 with a 3.55 ERA for the Giants. Vince Velasquez falls to 4-7 on the season for the Phillies. Will Smith, No, not the actor. We're talking about the Giants closer. He gets his 28th save of the year for San Francisco. In 10 innings, Miami Marlins 7, Atlanta Braves 6. Martin Prado had a walk-off sacrifice fly as he came in to pinch hit against his former team in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Sean Newcomb falls to 5-2 with a 2.96 ERA for the Braves. Kansas City Royals 7, Detroit Tigers nothing. Mike Montgomery improves to 2-5 on the season for the Royals. He struck out 12 Tigers batters in 7 innings. Milwaukee Brewers 3, Texas Rangers 2. Adrian Hauser struck out 10 Texas Rangers batters in 6 innings of work, only allowing 1 run on 3 hits. Minnesota Twins 4, Cleveland Indians 1. Jake Odorizzi is 13-5 on the season with a 3.44 ERA for the Twins as they regain the AL Central lead against the Indians. Adam Plutko falls to 4-3 for Cleveland. Max Kepler had his 32nd home run of the year for Minnesota. Chicago White Sox 3, Oakland Athletics 2. Reynaldo Lopez improves to 7-9 on the season for the White Sox. Tanner Roark, who was traded at the trade deadline, falls to 7-8 for the A's. St. Louis Cardinals 3, Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Adam Wainwright, he pitches very well at home. He's got a sub 2.5 ERA at home, and that continued in this ballgame as he improves to 8-8 on the season. Joe Musgrove falls to 8-11 for the Pirates. Carlos Martinez gets his 12th save of the year for St. Louis. LA Dodgers 4, Arizona Diamondbacks nothing. Kenta Maeda is now 8-8 on the season for the Dodgers, as Maeda struck out 7 Arizona Diamondbacks, and he also had an RBI. Arizona only had 4 hits in this game. Tampa Bay Rays 5, Seattle Mariners 4. Charlie Morton is 13-4 on the season with a 2.9 ERA for the Rays. Tommy Malone falls to 1-7 for the Mariners. Emilio Pagan gets his 11th save of the year for Tampa. There was one other rookie who had 3 home runs in a game last night, Yordan Alvarez for the Houston Astros. The Astros also put up a franchise record 23 runs against the Baltimore Orioles, including 6 home runs, which is tied for second most in franchise history. They had 25 hits as well. Aaron Sanchez improves to 5-14 on the season. He's 2-0 as a member of the Houston Astros. He was a part of the combined no-hitter by Houston against Seattle 1 week ago. The Astros piled it on mainly in the 2nd inning when they had 5 runs, the 5th inning when they had 4, and the 7th inning when they had 6. They also had 3 in the opening frame and the final frame, including 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 6th, and if you do the math, that combines for 23 against baseball's second worst team. The Orioles scored their runs in the bottom half of the 1st inning and the bottom half of the 7th inning to lose by 3 touchdowns. And in the final game of the night, New York Mets 4, Washington Nationals 3. That's right, the Washington Nationals gave up 2 runs in the bottom half of the 8th inning to give the Mets the victory. Similar to what happened 2 nights ago when the Mets came back from 3 down in the bottom half of the 9th. This time they were 1 down in the bottom half of the 8th. The Mets are now 15-1 in their last 16 games, which is the best in Major League Baseball. They're also in the NL wildcard hunt. There are 4 teams in the NL East alone who are in the hunt for a playoff position. Only 3 teams at max will be able to get a playoff position in the National League. Pretty incredible considering a few weeks ago at the trade deadline, the Mets were considered out when they made a couple of questionable trades. Now it seems like they're in, but in reality they're on the outside looking in. Watch this space for more information. The NL playoff race is going to get very interesting over the next 6 weeks. That's the Sport Report for Sunday, August 11th, 2019.
Now, I'm Chandler.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest in sports. Do you want to contact Chandler Sports or members of the Sport Report team? Visit sportreportcws.com.
This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Channel Sports is strictly prohibited.